Does the chance to see Africa's wildlife in their natural habitat appeal to you? Have you ever considered going on a safari? Well, this has been on our bucket list for a long time, and we headed to Sebatana Private Reserve in South Africa for our first ever safari experience. So did this dream holiday live up to the expectations we had? Keep watching to see our experiences and whether our dreams actually came true.
Our adventure started with a night flight from Heathrow to Johannesburg with Virgin Atlantic. Check-in and security at the airport was easy, and we were surprised to find we had plenty of time to kill at the airport before the flight.
Right, so we're so excited, we're getting ready for our safari. We've been through the baggage drop-off and we've done security as well. So easy, really easy. And the gentleman, we're about 4 hours early, so we said, are we too early? And his answer to that was, no, you're never too early as long as you're travelling today. So all good all round.
We ate in Wagamama's before boarding and soon found ourselves up in the air and trying to fathom out how to contort ourselves into a position that would allow us to get some sleep. The 10 3/4 hour flight through the night didn't yield much sleep, sadly, but the entertainment was good and the breakfast tasty enough to be demolished before we remembered to photograph it.
Landing at Johannesburg on day 2, we were glad to be in South Africa. Queues for immigration were lengthy, but after approximately 45 minutes we collected our cases and were greeted by the team from Sebatana Lodge for our transfer, and some African beats welcomed us. Then we were escorted to our minibus. Be warned though that you'll be pestered by taxi drivers and people offering to porter your cases for money. The Sebatana guides were pretty fierce in how they dealt with them, and we were soon aboard and heading north. This was a long minibus journey though, first through Pretoria, South Africa's capital city, and onward along the freeway with its long straight roads and seemingly endless views across South Africa's rolling plains.
We were travelling in December, which is South Africa's summer. However, we noticed rain clouds, storms and lightning strikes as we drove.
This 5.5 hour minibus journey was broken up with a stop for the toilet at a service station and a stop at a roadside restaurant for a sandwich and a glass of champagne.
You enjoying that, Si?
Cheers!
As we got further into the South African countryside, the tarmac disappeared and we found ourselves on dirt tracks. Wildlife sightings also happened. Excitement was well and truly building.
We finally arrived at Sebatana Private Reserve, where we received a very warm welcome from the team there.
And we've been given a nice cold flannel as we came in and a nice cocktail. Cheers.
We went to our room but didn't get much time to unpack though before we had to attend a briefing on the rules of the resort, and our first meal also, which was an
avocado starter, kudu steak main and a creme brulee dessert.
All washed down with some tasty cocktails before turning in for some much needed sleep, even though the storms and the lightning raged overhead. Our journey to Sebatana had taken over 24 fairly exhausting hours, but we realised we had travelled deep into South Africa's beautiful countryside, and that is what we had come for, hoping to wonder at the amazing wildlife.
First though, sleep beckoned. So what a night of storms we had.
I wouldn't know, I slept like a baby.
Well, I woke thinking you're snoring again, but it was actually thunder.
Anyhow, a 9 AM breakfast was a real treat with a really good spread provided. Then we got packed and joined our first drive, which was out into the reserve for a briefing.
There were 27 of us in the lodge and we split equally into 3 adapted Toyota Land Cruisers. This bumpy ride was an experience, and we quickly understood why they call this the African massage.
At our briefing point, the plan for our week was explained fully, and we also received a briefing on South African geography, quite interesting. Then a tour of one of the other lodges in the reserve and the spa area. Well, here we are, it's our first morning. We've just been up and we've had a briefing on the week. Sounds really exciting.
It does sound so exciting, doesn't it?
Yeah. So they've given us a little bit of a drive around. We've got to see a giraffe on the way around, which is absolutely fabulous.
2 babies.
2 babies as well. Really good. Sun's out, it's very warm. We're going to have a look at the shop now, and then we've got our first proper game drive this afternoon.
We had a little look in the spa, didn't we?
Spa looks nice.
Yeah.
They
said they'd give you a discount on the hairdresser part.
They gave me, they took one look at my old head and said I would qualify for a discount on hairdressing, so that was fun. Yeah, really nice place, really nice resort. I'm really looking forward to the game drives in particular, especially as we just drove around, weren't really looking, and there were the giraffes. Amazing.
Oh, fantastic.
Absolutely amazing. And it's a nice group as well. There's 27 of us in our group.
Yeah, and we're in a car. How many's in our car?
9 in the car.
9, isn't it? Yeah, and we've got a nice little group there.
And we're with them all week, and we've got the same guide all week as well. Colin. He's really good.
Colin.
Shout out to Colin. At any rate, stay tuned and we will show you some more fun and adventures in South Africa.
So, Si, is it worth guessing what you bought in the shop?
So we've been shopping already. Obligatory hat and obligatory fridge magnet. All done.
Then a walk back to Elephant Lodge, where lunch was served, and this was a tasty spread. And we could quickly see that it's hard not to eat as much as an elephant when staying at Elephant Lodge.
After lunch, we had an hour and a half to chill. Many guests took to the swimming pool, but we just chilled and caught up with messaging the family and enjoyed a cocktail.
What have you spotted, Si?
So we've just spotted some monkeys over the way, just on the outskirts of the perimeter fence. So we're going to go over and have a look and see what we can see.
So we walked to the nearby hide to see that they were a troop of baboons, all playing and doing what baboons do. So, Si, what's happening now?
So we're just going out on our first proper game drive. I wonder what we're going to see.
And we boarded our jeep and headed off into the reserve.
All 3 jeeps separated as they explored the reserve, but they kept in radio contact to inform each other if there were any special sightings. And as we bounced and rolled our way into the bush, we first spotted impala, but were then amazed when we quickly encountered a family of giraffe. These elegant giants are simply mesmerising.
We then stopped at an enclosure used to assist with animal welfare and tick removal, when one of the party had spotted a very sprightly tortoise that was scampering away when it heard the jeep, then to a watering hole, and it was the throng of birdsong that initially grabbed our attention, as a tree full of weaver birds were busy at work making their nests.
But lurking in the waterhole was a predator, and Colin sternly instructed that nobody was to get out of the jeep. A male crocodile was lurking beneath the waters, watching us carefully and no doubt doing a bit of menu planning.
Then a few yards away from the watering hole, Mummy Crocodile was on her nest, sat on eggs. Wow, what a sight! And baby crocs were enjoying themselves at the water's edge.
And in a tree near the waterhole was a tree with a vast nest adorning it. This nest takes 2 years to build by the hammercock bird, and we noticed one of the nest's owners peeking out to see who was visiting. Once he was satisfied we were not a threat, both parents decided to leave the nest to feed at the water's edge. This was quite a sight, and these birds had an interesting hammer-shaped head.
We left this scene in awe as we continued our journey into the bush. Mountain zebra was seen, but used the bush cover well to remain a little elusive.
Then a clearing created by the reserve and blue wildebeest were grazing. Spectacular. We alighted the jeep and took in our surroundings. So far so good. We've seen blue wildebeest, crocodiles, zebra, giraffes. That's okay. Weaver birds, you carry on. All good. Oh yeah. It's been a bounty of wildlife. Fantastic.
Back aboard our jeep we saw some kudu and more impala in the distance, and then one of nature's great sights, a pair of dung beetles rolling a ball of impala dung across the sandy ground to make a nest. This was an incredible experience, and this was exactly what we came here for.
The sun was beginning to set, and the dramatic scenery added to the wonder of what we were experiencing. Then more zebra, just grazing in a clearing, with warthog also grazing nearby.
As we headed back to Elephant Lodge, more impala appeared, and this was a lovely end to a brilliant drive, and we didn't want it to end.
A quick change of clothing and another lovely meal with a great choice on the menu too. And the group was buzzing, swapping stories and photos of what we just experienced.
Cocktails and wines to finish off, but we knew we had an early start in the morning, and the bedroom beckoned with sweet dreams of more African adventures.
Day 4 started early and with a fair degree of confusion, as the resort had issued most of the guests with the wrong itinerary paperwork. This meant an earlier start than advertised and a very rushed breakfast before boarding the minibus to Welgevonden Private Reserve. Well, it's just gone 6 in the morning. We're leaving for this Welgevonden drive half an hour ahead of what we were told, so we're a bit bleary-eyed. A very rushed breakfast, and on the bumpy roads I think we're going to need the Rennie today. So, oh god bloody hell. Anyway, looking forward to this. This is our first of the big 5 game drives. See how we get on.
A 30-minute bumpy ride to the reserve followed with a comfort break before boarding jeeps as we headed into the mountainous reserve.
This was a different sort of drive as we were specifically targeting the big 5. This meant that we sped past countless impala, warthog, wildebeest and zebra as we kept our eyes peeled for the big five, and at last a sighting, a white rhino in the distance. Massive though. So we're chasing down the big five. Now we've just seen a white rhino speeding through the Welgevonden Reserve at quite a pace actually. It's quite a bumpy ride, but really the sights are incredible. The scenery is fantastic. Okay, one ticked off, let's see how many we get.
Onwards we went, then a jackal ran past.
On we went, and we came to an abrupt stop when two white rhinos emerged from the bush.
This was a spectacular setting, and we were loving this. On we went, and then, oh my gosh! We sat in awe as the poor impala had just become lunch, and the cheetah, still panting from the chase, slowly cooled down before deciding to tuck in. We could hear the sound of the crunching bones as it ate.
Then off again, all warthogs and zebra, and then we parked up at a large watering hole, and this was the only place where we were allowed to leave the vehicle, and our guides served up some drinks and some snacks.
The zebra eventually left us, but the warthog was enjoying the attention, and after rolling and rubbing himself in all the mud, came over to see what all the fuss was about. Warthog selfie time!
Back aboard the jeeps we sped on further into this beautiful park, more rhinos and a water buck too. Then on to another watering hole, and what's that underneath the water? And this time 2 hippos were keeping an eye on us. Amazing. These 3 hours had simply flown past, but it was time to leave Welgevonden and head back to Sebatana.
We drove out to the reserve and boarded the minibus back to Sebatana.
So did you enjoy that?
Absolutely amazing, and my highlight was seeing cheetah. It was absolutely fabulous.
Back at Sebatana we waited and chilled in the bar with a beer whilst lunch was being prepared. Steak and chips for lunch, that can't be bad.
And the rest of the day was our own. So after a very early start, some chilling by the pool was definitely in order. What's next, guys?
Well, we're going to take a little short walk. One of the things about here, there's a couple of little walking trails apparently. We're not sure we're going to do it all, but we're going to start doing this one called the Kudu Trail. We've got to go out the gate. We can already see something waiting for us the other side.
It's
going to be interesting.
I think.
Looks like an impala.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll video what we can on the way around.
We have to open this gate to get through.
Apparently we do. It just slides.
Here we go. Here we go.
After you. Literally, we're just the other side of the gate, and we've just seen a herd of, we think, kudu. I think they are. Just by a little feeding area. They've seen us coming. They're not sure about us.
They've got massive ears.
They've got big ears.
Yeah.
Nettie's going to do some filming. We'll lay it over the top.
Oh, it's a baboon, load of baboons.
Oh look, up ahead, we think there are some baboons. Now we've got to be a bit careful with them because they can be aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll approach with caution. So the baboons were just here. It does look as though they've scarpered and disappeared into the bush. Some have gone to our right, some have gone to our left. You can just about see them down in here. There's one just disappearing down into the trees over there. There's 2 down there. Another one over behind us.
You can hear them.
You can hear them. Right, there's some impala to our right.
And baboons.
And more baboons. You can hear the birds calling as well. Okay, they've seen us coming and they don't want us to get too close. So we're following the Kudu trail supposedly, and you've got these little marks on the trees that let you know you're still on the right trail.
Which we are, thank
Well,
goodness.
we're just discussing, we're quite pleased there's no lions in this reserve. We wouldn't be that happy about that.
Probably wouldn't come out in it.
Don't really want to be a lion's dinner tonight. But you know, we know there's some great animals here for us to see. We've seen loads already. So Nettie's been fascinated by these mounds that we see all over the place. I think they're termite mounds. It's going to have a closer inspection. What can you see?
Wow. I don't know. There's like holes in them. I will video it.
Take some footage, we'll show the viewers. Enjoying your walk?
I am, and I'm quite surprised that we haven't seen any snakes yet.
Don't speak too soon.
But I'm quite pleased, actually.
It's a nice trail. It's quite, it's quite flat. It's sort of a sandy sort of dirt track that we're following. Seen by the sort of the game drive jeeps, isn't it? Okay, change of direction here. Let's get our bearings.
Oh yeah. Look at this river. It's as dry as a bone.
So assuming this river still flows in heavy rains, it's dry as a bone now. So this is one of these kind of corral type enclosures that they build. And apparently periodically they herd the larger game in here, and they get sprayed as they go in there with this kind of spray that combats
Simon, there's
ticks.
a skull over here.
A skull?
Skull, bones or skeleton.
Bones?
Oh, it's the skull of a giraffe.
A giraffe. Okay, let's have a look.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, look
That's
at
the
that.
skull of a giraffe, isn't it?
Well, it's certainly the right size.
And look, it's got the horn bits that giraffes have.
Wow, that's a find.
Wow.
Okay, wildlife in action.
Gosh.
Well, there's the hide just down the road from the bones. Okay, so apparently we've got no big predators in here, but something's taken a giraffe down. Another good old munch. Okay, well, onwards and upwards. Well, we're still going, we're on the same trail. We've been walking for nearly half an hour, and the sunlight is just starting to wane.
Which means the mozzies are starting to come out.
The mozzies are out with a vengeance right
you can hear
now.
them.
So we'll probably turn around and go back the way we came, I think. I'm not sure we're going to get all of this done, but I'd rather not be out here in the dark.
No.
All right, okay. Well, if we see anything new on the way back, we'll show you. We didn't get our giraffe selfie.
No,
But
we'll try
have
again another day.
more opportunities tomorrow. We're going on a walk in the morning, apparently. So this is our turning point. We've come across a little building with solar panels on the top, and now we're heading back. Well, this has been a really nice walk. Heading back now to the lodge. As we're finding out, the DEET doesn't make you mosquito proof. Yeah, definitely need to hydrate. It's still in the probably low 30s as we're walking out tonight, even though the sun is setting. There you go, there's some more impalas and a warthog there. How lovely.
Warthogs.
You see them running? They're fun, aren't they?
They are so funny, little Poombas.
So that's it, that's our walk down. We're back at the lodge, and here is the gate. Really nice way to end a fantastic day.
Then back for a shower. Most of the group had opted to do the paid extra excursion for a night safari. Us and a lovely other couple, Ali and Jamie, did not for this and remained behind at the lodge for a somewhat exclusive evening meal. So we're very fortunate tonight. We've got some fantastic company. Ali and Jamie have joined us for dinner tonight. How's your holiday, guys?
Oh, fantastic. As you say, the company, the place, everything's fantastic. And also, if this is, we're the great unwashed left behind, look at the setting we're in. Perfect service, perfect company, and good drinks. Cheers.
Cheers. After, we returned to the hideout to enjoy the African dark skies and moonlight.
Another 5:30 AM start beckoned for the morning's bushwalk, so again we took an early night. Meanwhile, the brilliant Chris, who did attend the night safari, kindly gave us the review of her experience.
So this is Chris, and Chris went on the night safari last night. So Chris, did you have a good time?
It wasn't too bad.
What did you see?
Not a lot.
No.
There were 2 giraffes and a bush baby.
All right, okay. You had a meal as well, yeah?
Oh, the meal was lovely before we went on the safari.
Okay, I think it was the same as we had, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah, it was.
It was
okay.
really nice. Enjoyable round the campfire.
Oh, that's nice. All right, thumbs up overall?
Sideways.
Sideways. All right, thanks, Chris.
That's right.
So much wildlife in 2 days, we couldn't help but be excited for the days ahead. See our next video to see if we do get to tick off all of the big 5. Thanks for watching.
If this video has made you consider taking a safari, why not let us know in the comments below? And if you'd like to see more adventures on this safari or on our travels around the world, why not subscribe? It was really appreciated. Thanks very much.